in the spirit of Thanksgiving, feast or famine, which players would you feast on and which players would you go famine and not buy? So we're going to start with some of the names that just popped out of the NBA draft now that we know what team they're on.
Bro, are there heads on the
Yeah. Cody teed that up pretty nicely there. It's pretty nice. You got Tatum with the turkey. He's looking at it like he's real hungry. You got Obi kind of popping in there on the bottom. But let's talk about Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball. Edwards on the Timberwolves, and LaMelo now on the Hornets. Are you feasting? Are you famining on either of these two guys? And I'll start with Dan.
It's hard because we've only had a couple releases out so far and nothing in their NBA unis.
Right.
So I personally try to, and there's money to be made and there's good investments that you can make on those early products that are collegiate products, but I personally try to stay away from those until we start getting the Donrusses and the hoops and stuff like that. When you start getting autos and pictures of the players in their new unis. So with the products that are out right now, I'm probably staying away from all the rookies. How about that?
Yeah, I mean,
know that's like that kills your segment, but
no, I mean, I obviously you guys know I'm a big fan of LaMelo Ball. The Hornets do scare me from a card perspective because there hasn't been a Hornet that's sold well in years. I mean, they've had lottery picks. I mean, they've had guys that is like PJ Washington, you get the right card sells. Miles Bridges, So it's like, is this finally going to change? I mean, one thing with LaMelo is there is a Jordan tie now, so you're going to have some jersey cards that are going to have the Jordan logo on it.
That's going to be so dope.
The Timberwolves, some guys have sold, with Cat and Wiggins over the years. I mean, Culver didn't really do a whole lot last year, but Edwards could be electric. I don't know if I'm probably feasting on LaMelo and I'm waiting on, depending on the price, and I'm famining on Edwards out of these two for right now. But what do you think, C-Rad?
For both guards, I like them equally, actually, to be honest. I'm excited to see them play with their respective teams, see how they do this year. In general, I'm just overall very optimistic about this upcoming season. It's almost an extra excitement in a way because we didn't get the tournament. You see what I mean? And some of these kids are going to teams that are going to actually need them to perform. So it's an exciting time to be a basketball fan and collect. So I'm feasting on both these kids right here.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to, I would probably go LaMelo over Edwards because Edwards. I think LaMelo is going to get the ball more.
Absolutely, he's going to put up numbers
with Cat. I mean that offense
and D'Lo.
That offense is going to run through those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So
unless he really takes charge and demands the ball more, but we'll see. And are you going to ask us who we can pick between these guys?
I know this one's tough because we got a local kid now. In the next one, we've got Obi Toppin and we have Wiseman. So, Wiseman's going to a good situation where he's going to get some minutes. I do like Toppin for the Knicks, though. The Knicks fans seem like they were trying to make Kristaps the next coming, and you could see Kristaps' prices. So if Obi comes out and shows any sort of life, and the situation is he went to a smaller school, kind of almost like a John Morant type situation where he's coming in and he's going to get some playing time. I really like Obi Toppin going forward. Wiseman's a big guy, so that worries me. But if I'm feasting or famining on these two, I'm going Toppin. I like his auto, too. I like the way his auto looks on cards. So
it's a nice auto.
The Knicks and Spike Lee, they've been craving for somebody to root for over these last couple of years. So I think I'm going Toppin.
There's no universe where I'll go Toppin over Wiseman.
Yeah, I'm going.
Well, I'm buying Wiseman, but I might buy more Toppins than Wiseman.
I see. Yeah, I am going to. I've said it a few times on the stream this past week, and I've been saying it for months. Whoever the Warriors draft, I'm going to collect that person this year. So Wiseman, going in the personal collection, baby.
Yeah, just like I said, historically with the hobby, the big men don't tend to sell as well.
But he's an athletic big man.
He is. So is Dwight Howard, though. So, I mean.
Yeah, Dwight Howard. But there may have been a point where Dwight Howard's cards did sell.
Yeah,
really
they
well.
probably did. And the rookie 04, 05 with the Magic.
Coming off the LeBron, Melo, Wade year.
Yep.
But the thing I like about Wiseman is that he is going to be a plug and play guy with the Warriors. He is going to be on the court. I don't know how much he's going to score.
He's big as hell,
but he is absolutely going to be running with those guys. So
it's going to be fun, man.
it's going to be good to see. And I could see a fair amount of alley-oops going to him.
Oh, yeah.
I
Draymond's going to love him.
I could see Draymond doing a little alley-oops to Wiseman. So that could actually translate in couple highlight dunks.
Some swats.
Yeah, I mean, I think out of the gate, Wiseman is going to make the Warriors a better team.
I think he's going to make the biggest impact out of the rookies, whether it's going to be, because he basically went into the best situation.
He should have a highlight every single night, bro.
Yeah.
Which makes his card values is like, as long as you're staying in people's minds, you're gonna go.
The only issue is that if he's going to need to play defense. And there's no knock that like he can't play defense.
No.
That's
but
actually what.
but the NBA is a different game.
Yeah.
You're going against different type of talent. And if he is not playing defense, that's the one way that he can get pulled off the court because Kerr isn't going to handle like.
I agree.
No.
But I'm actually not worried about his defense at all. Actually, yeah.
I think they're going to love having a true shot blocker. I mean, Bogut was great, but he just was kind of a little bit older when he got to the Warriors. He wasn't kind of past his prime in the shot blocking days, but this guy could be a crazy shot blocker.
You can't be a big man, like what Dan was saying, you can't be a big man in this day and age of NBA and not play defense.
Right.
It just doesn't. It's not going to work out for you long term.
All right, let's go to.
But we've seen the Warriors try to throw a big man in there. Was it Jordan Bell?
Not too big, but
undersized though.
Yeah, but they try
shot
to make
blocker,
try to make him a
lazy,
big
though.
Try to make him a big man, and he couldn't do enough to stay on the court.
I think Kerr is a smart coach, and he expects his players to know where they need to be, and I think that's what was the problem with Bell. Yes,
as well as athleticism and skills.
Yep, knowing where to be and who to guard. So let's go with some guys that just got some big contracts after their rookie contracts were up. And feast and famine on Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, that 17-18 rookie class, and actually I think Bam was in that same rookie class. Well. So Bam Adebayo, who just playing in the finals, little mini Dwight Howard. So out of these three, I'll start with Dan. Are you feasting? Are you famining?
Oh man. All those guys, but Tatum's legit. I'm buying Tatum. Mitchell is also, I think, undervalued in the hobby.
Yes, maybe one of the most underrated.
Undervalued, not underrated.
Yeah, underrated too, but
undervalued. But Tatum's legit. He's a top 10 player in the league. He just got paid, so I'm buying Tatum.
Well, and that's the kind of investment I was talking about earlier. He's on the Celtics. You know what I mean? It's the almost like the Yankees of baseball in a sense with all those titles that they have. It's like, and that's what worries me with Donovan. And we've got some big Donovan cards. We have silvers of, I don't think I have a Bam Adebayo, but I got silvers of Tatum and Mitchell. I've really been considering selling Mitchell just because it's like the Jazz, since Karl Malone and Stockton, it really hasn't been anybody that's sold. Their games are on at 10. 10 on the East Coast, 7 our time, so they don't get a lot of eyeballs on their games, and that worries me from an investment standpoint. Obviously, when they go into the playoffs, then you're going to see them. You're going to see them play, and you're going to be like, man, this guy's good. But Tatum is always going to be on those primetime games, those ABC games, things like that, where he's going to get the eyeballs on him. I wanted to look at some of the prices recently of some silvers. So you got a PSA 10 Donovan Mitchell. It sold for $2,000. That was in August, so it might have changed since then. Jason Tatum at $4,500. Bam Adebayo at $1,500. And then we threw in some other guys like De'Aaron Fox at $900 and Brandon Ingram at $1,800. So obviously you pick Tatum. He is the highest selling. Is there any room for like a Bam Adebayo to increase that value, or do you think that's the peak?
Such a skillful player. He really found a gem with him. But in terms of hobby value, because of the type of player he is, he's not gonna like electrify you offensively every single night, and that's kind of what you're looking for with like these like long-term investment. So I don't know. I feel like Bam's pretty close to the peak, if not already at the peak.
Yeah,
but he does everything you want as a basketball player for a starter on your team.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, And he was electric to watch during some of these stretch runs last year. So
last year,
yep.
Overall in the bubble, amazing.
And what about Brandon Ingram? I mean, he's the guy that's actually the only guy on this that's not on the team that he's on his rookie card. He's on the Pelicans now, not the Lakers.
He just got paid.
He got paid. He's playing with Zion. To me, he plays a lot of hero ball, which I don't like. He tries to be Kevin Durant, but he can't quite shoot as well as Kevin Durant, where he's just going to not look. He's just going to take the ball down the court and do everything himself. That worries me. Also, his frame is real skinnier than Kevin Durant. But, he is very skilled, and he can play all the roles he needs to be, whether it be shot blocker, whether it be in the post, whether it be shooting a three. So he's very skilled at his size. I think if I'm investing, I'm still going Tatum and then maybe second Mitchell out of all of these guys. So I'm feasting on Tatum and Mitchell.
The Mitchell the reason why I don't go Mitchell is it scares me that like the stats that he has put up, and that team is pretty good, and his cards still don't sell for as much as other guys who don't put up the stats that he does. Like what does he have to do? I fear that if he wins a championship, it's still not enough.
Right.
I think, unfortunately, what you're saying is that he needs to get out of Utah. Not for his career.
For cards.
For cards.
Yes.
And, I mean, you got to look at that as two different things. I mean, it might not be the best thing for him to get out of Utah, but from a card value standpoint, it probably is.
Yeah, but it's tricky, though, because if he goes to another team that's going to sell, he's probably not the main guy anymore, right? If he goes to Boston, he's there with Tatum. If he goes to, obviously, Los Angeles, he's overshadowed by LeBron. If he goes to, I think for him to win a championship, he's going to have to be on a super type team, and does that eventually hurt his value because he's not the main guy anymore? So that's something to consider as well.
If he goes to the Clippers.
He's not the main guy.
Teaming up with Kawhi, though, pretty good.
Yeah, but it looks like he's not going anywhere. Based
Yeah,
on
no,
that
he
contract,
ain't going anywhere.
So
Utah.
Yep.
Utah boys.
Utah for life.